You've hit Beltline Construction, brought to you by Calvin College Media Production. Here's your host, Grand Rapids personal trainer, Mighty Joe.
All right, welcome back to episode 10 of Beltline Construction. I am your host, Mighty Joe Stankowski. Today we're going to talk about a bit more of an athletic sort of training technique called Plyometrics. What are Plyos? Well, they're originally called shock training or power metrics. They originated in the early to mid 1960s in Russia by a Soviet sports scientist who really formalized this system of training for athletes. I mean, it's for track and field athletes that were doing all this stuff. Explosive type running, jumping athletes really is what we're looking at. The whole idea of plyometrics, once it came into the Western world, it kind of morphed into impact plyos and non-impact and maximal and submax and non-plyometrics and pseudo-plyometrics and all these different styles of plyometrics, none of which were really quite the same as the original ones. Today we're going to talk about really plyometrics for the home user. This isn't for maybe building the high jump world record, but it's stuff that will really help you in your own life as far as being able to absorb forces, and it ties in the last couple episodes we had where we reduce force. If you remember in the last one, the episode before that, we produced force very quickly. The idea today is we're going to reduce force as we're maybe jumping off of something or lowering ourselves down into a push-up, but then quickly transitioning from that deceleration to turning around the other direction. And what I want to do to really start is demonstrating the idea of what is power, what is strength. Everybody exhibits power and strength anytime you do anything. You can pick up a pencil, strength is involved, and power is involved. But I'm going to have my assistants Stephanie and Travis come in and are going to help me demonstrate something real quickly. I've got these hefty 400-pound boxes right here. And Stephanie, being as strong as she is, I'm going to hand one of these to her. And I'm going to hold one, and just to demonstrate the idea of strength, if we both lift them, and we lift them the same sort of distance, same weight, we're exhibiting the same amount of strength. We both can lift 400 pounds. But we're going to put the idea of having speed in here as well. So we're both going to lift the same 400 pounds, and here we go. And she just lifted faster than I did. So even though we had the same strength, she exhibited more power than I am, which kind of makes me feel bad right now. But you know, it's all right that you're more powerful than me. I can take it. And so we have the idea where we always produce power, we always produce strength, we always use them. Every movement involves power and strength, but what do we emphasize is the question when we're training. And today with plyometrics, we're really emphasizing this transition from decelerating to power production very quickly. And so what we're going to do next to show how the muscles work, I'm going to have Travis get down on the floor, and we have something called the mitotic stretch reflex. And it's this protective sort of thing that our muscles do when they start to feel like they're getting overstretched. They're going to try to shorten very quickly in a protective mechanism. So we're going to have Travis grab one end of this high-tech stretching rope, available at any hardware store. And what we have to do is keep both knees really as straight as you can. And once you get to the top, as far as you can really lift your leg, I'm going to use a little extra pull from the rope. We're going to count to about 4 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003. And if you can see right there, we didn't even get to 4 seconds. Right around that 2-3 second mark, had a little bit of a buckle in there. So you can put your legs down right now. And so it's this protective sort of mechanism that stops him from stretching further because his nervous system senses, whoa, there's too much stretch. We better back out just a little bit and keep ourselves safe so we don't get hurt. And that's part of what we're going to try to use here in plyometrics today is that mitotic stretch reflex. Imagine a trampoline. Once you get the stretch, it's going to try to shorten as quickly as it can and protect itself. And so we're putting this stretch and it's like, whoa, let's actually get out of this. So I'll get this rope out of the way, and hopefully here we could use Stephanie to demonstrate the next part of this and how this stretch reflex isn't always working in our favor. It can actually slow us down if we don't take advantage of it, is what I'm trying to say. So if I have you lower into a jumping position as if you're about to spring up, but I want to hold this for about 4 seconds now. So we got 1001, 1002, 1003, and we're going to jump as high as you can, and there we go. Okay, and we got to jump. With this 4 seconds holding this position down here, the muscles kind of lose that elastic sort of effect. So if I have to do a regular jump now, full speed, just down and up, so we got more explosiveness, more height, more power, more ups, as I guess we call it, is the modern vernacular, right? It's what the kids call jumping these days. So we've got the idea of reducing force and holding it. It loses the elasticity. But if we take advantage of this mitotic stretch reflex and we kind of get it quick, we could really kind of fine-tune this to make your nervous system just get on fire where it wants to jump all around. We could put it all together into a workout. So what we could do in any workout, 2-3 times a week, maybe at the most, you want to do plyometrics like this. You don't need a lot of volume. We're looking for quality more than quantity. So we're going to do maybe 2 or 3 sets of each of these exercises when you're doing this at home, and 5-8 repetitions maybe at the most. Remember, quality first. So if you can only do one and it's the only one good one you got, do one. Take a break, do another one. That's your second set. So I'm going to have, who do I want to have here? I'm going to have Travis, I think, start off with this one. So we're going to have you come over to the step, and Stephanie can take a little breather right now because you're going to need it. I'm going to set up an obstacle of sorts here. And we've got a short styrofoam roll here. I'm going to have Travis set up on the step. And what he's going to do is he's going to jump. But before he jumps, this isn't going to be like a really big jump off of the step. It's going to be a jump once he hits the floor. So when you land, I want you to kind of hold your breath, and we're gonna have this internal pressure to keep you stable. And as soon as you touch the floor, we're gonna think razor blades, lava, and just hot knives all sticking up out of the ground on this side of the roll. So you wanna get as high as you can away from that onto that side of the roll as quickly as possible. So as soon as you touch and go. Boom, like that. Realistically, the research shows you about 2/10 of a second. You get about that quarter of a second and beyond, you start to lose that stretch reflex for this kind of activity. Good, and we can take a little break between each one. Some might be 15, 20 seconds, might be minutes, depending on your level of athleticism and what you can handle. Traditionally, the guidelines are if you can do plyometric work that you don't want to do these kind of jumps until you can squat at least 1.5 times your own body weight. I argue that in the real world, every time you run, jump, hop, skip, or just skip down a step, you're getting 3 to 12 times your own body weight impact on your joints, on all your connective tissue anyway. So because we're doing this as plyometrics for the commoner, just the everyday person, we can do stuff like this, just we control the height that we're jumping from. Maybe give it 1 or 2 more, and we'll take Stephanie into the mix. Good. And a lot of research has been done. They've done steps of different heights, or boxes of different heights. They're called plyo boxes. But if you're jumping off of a high curb somewhere, or some sort of like a park bench, it still works for what we're trying to do here. They've done these things as high as 10 feet in the air when they're dealing with paratroopers. Presumably, if you're not a paratrooper, you don't need anything that high. But if you're looking kind of at 29 or 30 inches up to maybe 45 inches, that's really kind of the maximal sort of range you're looking for. If you're just getting started with plyos for the first time, just a step, 6 inches, 12 inches works great too. So let you get out of here, and I'm going to have Stephanie jump in. Instead of going for height, we're going to go for distance now. So same sort of activity, same intent as far as hot lava or razor blades on the floor, but we're going to go for distance. We'll set up a few cones here to kind of illustrate she's going for distance now. So same thing, and hold your breath when you hit, and as soon as you hit, you kind of exhale, jump. So it's quick. She's like Tigger. This is great. I used to do a really good Eeyore impression. I don't know if I can do that one now. But we'll try another jump right here. Oh, Stephanie. Wasn't so good anymore. I guess my voice changed over the years. Anyway, so we're getting the same idea here. It's that hit and then go. And how do we make an exercise like this tougher? Well, if you're at home, if you have the space, you could try to jump further. And so we have more cones. We'll just see if we could raise the notch and see if we can jump past that one now. Take about another 6 inches. There we go. So we're exploding. We're producing more force without loading any heavier. If we want to load heavier, we just raise a step higher, get something else to stand on. There you go, you just got taller, didn't you? Land on the balls of your feet and then go. All right, we're about to wipe out. And I know we only got a couple minutes left, so I'm going to try to get Travis in here to show some upper body stuff. And we're going to do some push-up variations. Very similar to what we did last episode, where we have to absorb force, but just like this, we want to hit the ground and then quickly, as we can, transition to the opposite movement. So I'm going to hold this stable, and Stephanie already knows what to do here. She's holding Travis' stable a little wider, and there we go. So Travis is going to come off of here, holding his breath, and as soon as he hits the floor, he's going to absorb it and boom, quickly reverse. Good. Same thing here again. We can take a break if we need to between repetitions, of course, because it's quality, not quantity. And Travis has a strength of 10 men. Good. You can see he's not doing a full push-up, and the intent is not to do a full push-up when you're doing plyometrics with the upper body like this. It's to absorb quickly, 2/10 of a second at the most, touching the ground, hit and go. Get out of there. There you go. Good. It's like there's lava, man. Just don't let it burn you. Good job. Good. And we could call that a set right there. We've only got a minute and a half left, so I know what I want to do here is we got like one bonus exercise I want to throw with you guys. It has nothing to do with plyometrics. It's a core exercise. Everybody loves core, right? I mean, you can't get enough core in the fitness world. So if I could have Stephanie and Travis each grab a stability ball. This is an exercise called stirring the pot. And what is it? Effectively, it's a plank with forearms on the ball. Want to be tall through the spine. Nothing moves except for the shoulders, and the arms are going to kind of stir the ball around. And we're going to hang on to this one for as long as we can until we either start to lose the curve in the back or until we fall off. And either one could happen really when you're doing stuff like this. Looking good. Don't forget to breathe. You're doing all right. Okay, and I know we got to wrap up now. We're getting to the end of the show. We're going to let these guys finish up their set. I am Mighty Joe. This is Beltline Construction. We will see you next time. Until we see you then, keep training like you mean it. We'll keep this going, guys. See if you can go a little bit longer with it. Come on, hang on tight. Yeah, if you can get a figure 8.